Yo, so here's a short Wwise demonstration. I'm going to kind of go through a simple music system that uses states mainly to transition between different music playlists, and they all live in a single music switch container. I've created 4 states: intro, explore, combat, and death. The intro state can be imagined as a main menu or maybe an initial dialogue cutscene before the player actually starts playing. So we're going to have to use our imaginations a little bit. First, let's set the state to intro and listen. We'll pin this and take a look at the intro playlist here. The intro playlist contains 2 segments that play back and forth infinitely. Each segment within the intro playlist uses different transitions, the first being an immediate crossfade into the next state, but the second segment uses cues to indicate points where the transition is allowed to occur. Let me show you that here. If we click here, you can see that these are the cues, but we're not in this segment yet. We're in the first one here. For this music piece, specifically, using the cues in the second segment helped keep it feeling musical, as I wanted certain phrases to finish before cutting off. But in this first segment, we just used some sequence steps and subtracks to kind of keep it fresh, and we add and remove certain layers every time it loops. So now we'll transition from intro into explore. See how that sounds. Now this explore playlist repeats one music segment infinitely. Let me show you that right here. But inside this segment, some of the tracks are set to be random step tracks with subtracks, which introduces or removes layers randomly each time it loops to add variation. Now let's switch from the explore state to the combat state, which is also just one music segment looping infinitely. To remain musical, the combat segments sync to the next bar and have pre-entry cymbal swells and percussion, which smooth out the transition from explore to combat. It also uses sequence step and subtrack layers to introduce or remove elements every second loop. As you can hear here, there are a few more elements introduced as it repeated. Let's go back to explore. Just crossfades pretty slowly back into explore. And we'll go back to combat. Created this RTPC called Intensity, and it ranges from 0 to 100, which is plugged into each audio track from the combat segment, all of these. Here, you can kind of click through and see what I'm doing with each individual track. As I lower the intensity, some elements are removed while still feeling like combat. As well as some filtration, low pass filters, high pass filters, but mainly volume. And as I get closer to 0, Some elements are completely removed, but we're still in a state of combat. Go back to 100 for max intensity. Now we're going to go to the death state, which simulates, the player dying or losing, whatever, depending on the game's mechanics. Now that transitions at the next bar. It also uses some pre-entry cymbal and percussive swelling to help smooth out the transition. Let's hear it back again. We'll go to combat. And then we'll die. And one more time from a different position. Let's wait a sec. So yeah, there's endless amounts of variation that can be explored in a system like this. I just wanted to demonstrate what a simple system would look like for the music. So yeah, thanks for watching.